Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I hope you're having a good Saturday. Dagenham and Redbridge 2, West Ham United 2, after fall by me, well and truly, the boy. Uh, where do I start? Like, first off, smash a like on the video. Second off, do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and all of that malarkey. Right, I'm going to get into it. Basically, Dagenham and West Ham had a pretty decent game today, I must admit. And I was quite shocked. How much Dagenham caused West Ham so much problems. I will say that. West Ham had a pretty strong team out today. Ben Rama, Aguerd, Kera, Kufal, Souček, to name a few, were all there and well up for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Some players outshone others. And in a 2-2 game, there was a lot of incident and a lot of stuff to talk about. But as I do, I start off at the beginning. And West Ham come out strong. First sort of 10, 15 minutes, West Ham come out, and you could see West Ham were all on it, from the get-go. Scored a good goal. Side Ben Rama done a lovely bit of work. Maxwell Cornet able to finish, and it's very, very good finish. My man of the match right now is Maxwell Cornet by country mile, because he was very, very good. I thought Maxwell looked a completely different player than he did last season. Right, for the better, I will say that. And for me, if he continues to go on this sort of upward curve, then he's going to go a long way this season, Maxwell Cornet. I will say that. Then obviously West Ham had another chance, which was a good save, a good sort of defensive play from Dagenham. Yeah. Then after that, West Ham sort of went back into the old way. Yeah, which is not good. Thomas Souček, anyone who hasn't seen it, go over and see it now. It's over on the sort of West Ham sort of website and YouTube channel of the highlights. And he gets out muscled on the ball, and obviously Dagenham equalise. And Dagenham had a 6'7", 6'6", centre forward up front today. Yeah, really big lump up front. And West Ham didn't know how to deal with it. They really did not know how to deal with this with Dagenham centre forward. In no way. Aguerd was there. Kera was okay to a point. Yeah, but yet again, dealing with sort of balls into the box, that was all over the place, West Ham. I will say that. And obviously, Dagenham equalised to make it 1-0 for a Thomas Souček howler, which is a real big howler. Someone who was actually at the ground tweeted me and said, "Oh, it wasn't that bad." Now I'm literally standing 15 yards away from it. No word of a lie. I'm literally on the other side of the fence. I can see it clear as day, and it wasn't really good. It wasn't really good. And then obviously Souček gives away a free kick just before half time where Dagenham hit the crossbar, which was unreal. And I said to my mate at half time, I said, if this is the West Ham that we're going to put up with in the new season, then we're in more shit than we think. Yeah. Second half, they come out and they looked a lot better. I must admit, Mubama looks a special kid, absolute special talent. Seeing him up front, I think to myself, this kid could go a long way. He don't remind me of Antonio. He reminds me of a young Romelu Lukaku, a player that seems just to bulldoze his way through everywhere, and he looks the real deal. He absolutely does. In sort of regards to the second half, West Ham sort of come out strong and scored a good goal. Maxwell Cornet with the assist, and Bamba with a simple tap-in. But yet again, West Ham self-destructs, and Luiziel, what is he doing on that? He literally bulldozes the geezer out the way in the box. At first, the referee gives a free kick, and then he changes his mind and gives a penalty. And obviously, Sydney puts the ball away for Dagenham 2-2. Ario nowhere near it, which is a worry. He was nowhere near the penalty at all, and the game sort of filters that into a 2-2 draw. For me, you can't go too over the top with friendlies, and I understand that. But some of the sort of proven players, the first teamers, so to speak, they weren't good. They weren't good. Freddie Potts come on, yeah, and Bamba and Potts outshone quite a few people, if I'm being honest. Do you know what I'm saying? And they've just flown around the fucking world. They've actually been around the world, end up and Dagenham, and they've actually done all right. I thought Ben Rama looked good. I thought Maxwell Cornet looks a lot better. A lot better. He looks more direct. He looks on it. He looks on it. I will say that. Souček, for me, and listen, I'm not going to go in on Souček, but it's not good. I understand what John's saying about it's a very soft penalty, but it's a foul though, John. At the end of the day, like he says, it's a very soft pen. I disagree. He took the geezer completely out. He was nowhere near the ball. It's a foul. It's a pen, and yeah, it was poor. Aguerd was okay. Okay, Kufel done all right today. Skulls, I can't really sort of comment on Skulls because he was over the other side, and I didn't really see much of him, so to speak. All the action was on the right hand side or left hand side. It's how you put it. But I don't know. I don't know how to summarise this game really for me. Like Dagenham are a team in sort of transition. I do know a hell of a lot of people over Dagenham. I know a lot of the owners over in Dagenham, and I've got a lot of friends who are Dagenham fans, and West Ham should have rolled Dagenham today. Like, do you know what I mean? West Ham shouldn't have mucked about. It should have been a simple demolition job there today, and it wasn't. And I'll be honest with you, Dagenham actually played all right, and they sort of controlled quite a lot of the game, really, if I'm honest. Don't get me wrong, West Ham were the better side as in like technical ability, but Dagenham deserved to get at least a draw out the game. And like, that's me being brutally honest. Obviously, a couple of youngsters come on, which were good. Obviously, like seeing the likes of Erford, I think it is, his name is. He was good. And yeah, like it just, for me, Mbamba looks special. He just looks special. He looks like he outshines everyone else. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And he does remind me of a young Lukaku. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I will get to your comments shortly. Obviously, it was a mixed bag day. Very wet, very cold in the middle of fucking July, which you can't make up. I agree with what Peter says there. Fab will be number one. I think so and all, especially on the first goal. Even though Souček makes the error, Areola should do a lot better. And even Alfie's just said to me in the WhatsApp group, he said, "What the fuck is Areola doing?" And yeah, it isn't good. So I'm going to wrap it up here with what I feel. Again, really a 50-50 game. It's good to see the boys back in action. I will say that. So I mean, Maxwell Cornet, there's a lot of positives with Maxwell Cornet today. A hell of a lot. I think he looks like he could do some damage this year. Do you know what I'm saying? I was worried about Maxwell Cornet, but I'll be honest with you, I think he looks all right. Louis Zial, for me, is not a Premier League player. He just isn't, yeah. And he could be here for another 2 years, and I just don't think he's going to make it. A lot of the youngsters done well. Freddie Potts looks special also, right? I see Steve Potts in the pub after, in the sort of the Dagenham bar area. And yeah, he looks the real deal, Freddie Potts. I will say that. Passing was crisp and very, very good. So, yeah, I'm not going to get too over the top with this, yeah, but obviously seeing the youngsters today, especially seeing two youngsters who have travelled all the way around the world come back to Dagenham and basically put in a pretty decent performance, right, is a bit of a concern. Howard Skulls, I'm high on him. I think he was all right, mate. If I'm being honest, a lot of the action come down sort of Safal's side. He really did. So it's very hard for me to judge him. So I won't judge him, but I would say he was okay. Do you know what I mean? Because he didn't really do a lot wrong, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. So that is my wrap up from me. I will get into your questions in the chat. So chuck them in. And we will start off at the beginning, as I always do. Richard Irons. How are you, Rich? Hope you're well, mate. Keith Knight, hope you're all good. Lawrence, hope you're well. William, hope you're good, mate. Early Doors Football ITV, I think that is. Yeah, all good, mate. John, hope you're well, mate. All the way over in Claret and Boozman. Bamber and Potts were very good. Dags were very, very strong in the tackle at times, a little too much. But the problem is with that, John, they are going to do. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's good because it toughens them up. It ain't right, but it was a friendly and they've got to sort it out, really. Let's start off at the beginning. Sounds like a good idea. Yeah. I was there. It was a great day out. It's very wet. I will say that. It's been raining all day, literally all day. And it is quite funny. I will tell you a story towards the back end of this stream. That amount of people I see from Twitter and YouTube videos in the crowd that they didn't see me. But then someone caught me out right at the end. At the end of the night, I'm sitting in the pub with a few of my mates and yeah, someone comes up to me, but I will tell you that at the end of the stream. What we got here? I think Cornet might solve our left-sided problem. He's the forgotten man. I'll be honest with you, yeah, he impressed me today. Really, really did. Really, really did. He looked like the Burnley Cornet that we got. Obviously, you can't go into it too much because it is Dagenham and Redbridge, and you know more against Rennes and other teams. But I thought he was all right today, Cornet. I will say that. The first goal is a great finish. The assist for Mubama is a really decent bit of work from him. I think he's all right, mate. I think he's all right. Souček has to go. I sort of tweeted out straight after I see it. I was like, he can't be in this team. He can't. Do you know what I mean? He just can't. And if you do see the highlights, do go over to the West Ham sort of YouTube channel. Go and check the highlights out. And if you think I'm being harsh, please put them in the comments after. I'm not being harsh. He's a 6 foot plus like central midfielder. He should be bullying the Dagenham midfielders about. And he didn't. He really didn't. And he got done on the ball yet again. Barry Clark, hope you're well, mate. I agree, James. I was hoping Maxwell would find some form last season. I want him to do well for us. I agree. Sydney Ibe, 6'7" Dutch striker, comes on in the second half. He's a big lad. Scored a good goal. Scored the penalty. That's one thing with West Ham today for me is that they had no way of dealing with balls in the air, which is a concern. And Aguerd was in there. Now, for how much I have praised Aguerd up in the past, and I have, in the air, he's suspect big time, and so is Kehrer. And that's a problem for West Ham. West Ham needs to get a centre half who can deal with stuff in the air. It seems like they're scared to enter the ball sometimes. I will say that. Got a lot of slack, but personally, I don't rate Souček. That's fair enough, mate. They've got a giant centre back, Tom Eastman, Clacton, boy, a very good player. Very slow, Barry, I will say that, but very decent player for Dagenham. Keeper should have saved the Dagenham first goal. Awful. I agree, Thunder and Joy, but I do think it's poor from Souček. I think they read what Souček's going to do, and they're all over him. And I'll be honest with you, I think Ario's shocked more than anything that he gets done there because he shouldn't. He's literally right on the corner of the 18-yard box. There's no way Souček should get done. He gets done, he gets stolen, and then it's in the back of the net. Who said it wasn't that bad? Was it our resident Souček lover Clive? Nah. Do you know what I mean? Result against Spurs was a team that had a manager for 5 days. Jay's in the house. Big up, Jay. Luciano's challenge was very soft, in my opinion. I disagree, John. I disagree. I saw it. I was down on that side of the terrace over at Dagenham, and I'll be real. He just takes him clean out. He's nowhere near the ball. Doesn't even touch the ball, and it was bad. It was bad. And the thing is, he didn't have to do that. That's the thing that does me. He didn't have to go through the geezer, but he did. And he gave away a free kick. The referee looked at his linesman, and the linesman gave a penalty, and basically they converted it. Yeah, I didn't see much in that penalty to be honest. I disagree with these lads. I really do. Potts was fantastic. I thought Potts was very, very good. Very, very good. Considering this kid on Tuesday was in Australia playing, and then on Saturday afternoon he's back in the UK playing in Dagenham, which is ground. I thought he'd done all right. There's a lot of positives with Potts, I will say that. Now, with Mubama, and I said it to a few people today, yeah, I think he's ready for the first team. I do. I think he's a sort of player that you can bring in, you can nurture, you can use over a period of time. I will say that. Potts is a 50-50 with me. I think he's good, but is he ready for the Premier League, like where people will be all over him? His passing ability is very, very good. He's like extremely good. Like some of the passes that he done today in the middle of the park, and he's quite a lively lad, like speed wise. I remember Dagenham broke on West Ham, and he was back defending, and he's rapid. I will say that. It's a toss of a coin for me. It's like if you do get rid of Flynn Downs, which I'm totally against, and you keep Potts, I won't like it, but I could accept it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones really with him. But I do think he's a special kid, and he's future talent all day. Good shout about Mubama, like Lukaku, 100%. People compare him to Antonio. I looked at him today in the flesh, and when you see a player up front, I was like, what comparison can I give? And he looks like a Lukaku type player. He reads the his positional play is absolutely first class. Like, I mean, like where he wants to be in the box and all that. He was everywhere today, Mubama. And like what I like about him, he's a hungry footballer. He's hungry to play in the claret and blue. Like coming back all the way back from Australia and like getting on the pitch, you would have thought he would have sort of just roamed about. But he's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Special kid, special player, and I think the only thing with him is he's sort of the ball out of his feet to have a shot. Like I think people can read what he's going to do before he does it. Other than that, I think he's got the tools, mate. He really has. Decent player. It's clear our team needs our youth to help us in the league. Yeah, sort of. Let's have a look what we got here. It's just skipped on me. Let's go up here. Where are we? Right there. And Bamba seems to be enjoying life at the moment. Deserves his first team appearance when the season starts. We'll always gamble on that though. For me, I think Moyes will. I really do. I really do. Remember, has scored in every pre-season game. Looks good. He will 100% need to start in cup games and be an impact sub in the league to start. I agree. A lot of the lads first game back. Not surprised they dropped off in games not match fit. The only thing I will say to that, Blue, one thing I will say, because I said this to Alfie, funny enough, yeah, is I can accept it, but certain players just shone out others basically. Like Ben Rama and Cornet were on it, and then Souček just wasn't. Souček just was nowhere near it. And even Aguerd wasn't really vintage Aguerd. Do you know what I mean? I know like, everyone's different. I get that. But it is the first game back. I'm not going to go mega in on them. But what I see today, we've got to sort out the sort of defence, i.e. when balls are coming into the box, we've got to stop. Like, we've got to make sure that we've got a centre half in there who can header the ball away. Do you know what I mean? Suma's key. Suma is massive, like for us, really, and it just shows how big Suma is in this team. Like when balls were coming in today, and I'll get to your comments shortly. Yeah, West Ham looked all over the place defensively, like crosses coming in, and Dagenham have got a big centre forward up front. Yeah, a proper lump, and I'll be real, they didn't know how to handle it. Like he was knocking balls down for other people, and he helped Dagenham get up the pitch, which caused West Ham a lot of problems because he was holding the ball up, landing the ball off, and yeah, that's the only concern I have defensively is in the air. On the ground, I think we're all right. In the air, we are suspect all day. I agree on that, John. Hopefully, he grows at the start of the season, moves on. Yeah, let's have a look. So, Daddy, the man who was blocked and now unblocked. I do apologise to Daddy. That was my fault. Ben Rumble will be cooking this season, and I will be there for it. I'll be honest, I thought Benny would have done all right today. He got a little clatter towards the back end of the game before he got subbed off. Geese went in on him hard. Yeah, really hard. And but I thought Benny was all right today. Actually, anyone who follows me on Twitter, go over to my tweets. There's a video of actually Ben Rumble hitting the crossbar. I even said to my mate, I said, I think he'll go close here, and he ends up in the crossbar. He had a good game today, Benny. Had a good game. I'll give him that. Harry, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. I know it's only pre-season, but how we looked all pre-season are winning the ball back. We struggled last season with the Rice goal. It could be even tougher. I will say that, mate. In midfield is a major thing for us. I'll be honest. Like, Souček was captain today. He's not captain material, in my opinion. I will be honest. Yeah. I thought Freddie Potts come on and he pissed all over Souček. If I'm being real. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's a youngster. So, yeah, we've got a lot of problems in midfield. What I've always said, and I've always said on this channel, is that we need ball carriers. We need someone who can pick the ball up, box to box, energy, yeah? And we didn't really have that today, especially in midfield. And it was coming from like Ben Rama and Cornet on the flanks, really. Do you know what I'm saying? Also, Callum Marshall played a half. He was okay. Nothing to sort of rave about, I will say that. Cornet's like a new signing. I agree with Lincoln, 100%. As I say, I thought he was very, very good. Can we not swap James Ward-Prowse for Souček or Park Maidment for Paulinho? Souček needs to go. Yeah. Luis Yao won't be here this time next season. Yeah, do you know what? When you see him in the flesh, and obviously this geezer's come from Brazil, and basically he's just not cut out for it. As a DM, I think he'd be all right. I'll be real. I think if you stuck him in defensive midfield. I think he'll do quite a good job for West Ham. I would say that. As a defender, he's pretty clueless, like, if I'm being honest. Some things he's good at, but the foul that he gave away, the penalty, people say it's soft, people say it ain't. He just cleaned the geezer clean out. And it's like, if you're going to do that, you're going to give away a penalty, ain't you? Let's be honest. So, yeah. Hopefully we start to play better, because last season we had a bad pre-season, started horrifically. I think with Areola, he needs a run in the side, in the same side as Downs. It builds confidence and self-belief. I agree. Let's get down to here. Do not want to see Souček starting, but we all know he will. Rumours are Potts to go out on loan. That's a no-no, in my opinion, keep him. The only problem is with that, John, and I will say this, for how good he was today, is he Premier League ready? That's the $1 million question. And if West Ham go out and sign 2 central midfielders, if not 3, because it could be 3, I don't think he's going to get any games. I'd rather see Potts go out to a side where he's going to play 25 games in the season at least. Someone said it to me yesterday, funny enough. Clive said it on here, yeah. He said, get him to Luton on loan for the season. It wouldn't be a bad shout. He gets Premier League football. He's got family at Luton. Do you know what I'm saying? It's worth a shout for me. And Bamba looks more confident than Skamaka does, mate. He's definitely ready for the first team. I agree on that. And Bamba looks special. Like, he looks a special kid. Like, his awareness of where the danger is and where to be for the balls coming in is just superb. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not the finished article yet. I will say that. He really isn't. I think sometimes when he gets the ball, people can read what he's going to do before he does it. Yeah, I think he's got to be a bit more sort of clever in that regard. But other than that, I think he's coming along nicely. I will say that. Potts will be the next Rice in time. There's no doubt about that, mate. I think if you sort of nurture this kid over the next sort of 2 to 3 years, he will be the next Rice. He's passing a bit. He's slick, absolute slick, and I couldn't believe how fast he was today. I really couldn't. Like I just said previous, like, there was a break and Dagenham won the break. Dagenham got some pretty lively lads like hitting on the break, and he sort of got back and he was defending very, very well. Right, let's get down to here. Souček should not be starting. Who should be our captain? Good question, mate. Good question. Are we close to any signings? Do you know? Honestly, mate, I would love to tell you, Darren. I really would, mate. But we do need signings. Obviously, Carlos Borges, he's gone absolutely dead. But it could hopefully be announced on Monday. Let's hope so. Let's get down to here. I think that's just an age thing, James. Mentally, remember, he's only 18. It's mental. He's tight. I'll be real. Yeah, I see him in the flesh today, and for the second half when he come on, he was a menace. He was everywhere, literally everywhere. And I said to my mate, you would not think this kid has just gone all the way around the world, right? Played in 2 games, got on a plane, travelled all the way back to the UK, and he's playing now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand it if he was fatigued, yeah. And like, I understand what people are saying about a lot of the players have come back and it's their first pre-season. I can understand it if Bamba's sort of not on it because he's just travelled all the way around from Australia. But he was everywhere, mate. Everywhere. Like, energy, he throws his body everywhere. And as I've just said previous, yeah, it's just that people read what he's going to do. Yeah, defenders know what he's going to do before he actually does it. Like, when he sort of shimmies himself onto his like favourite foot, and they know what's coming. But if he can sort of be a bit more cuter, he's a talent. He's a fucking talent, mate. What do we think of the away kit? I like it. I must admit, it looks very, very nice today. I will say that in the flesh, when you see all the lads in the flesh. Obviously, all the boys are wearing it today. Looks very, very nice. Let's hope it's cheaper than the home one. I will say that. I agree. I don't like the ghost badge. Yeah, not to worry. I'm not a fan of that either. Hi, James. I'm a bit worried. West Ham have not signed any players in timely. Let's hope so. David, I know Potts doesn't have the experience on the Souček, but who would you prefer to have more minutes on the pitch? See, I agree. That's a very good question there, mate. I will say that. It's one of them ones, mate. Like, Potts, I would say Potts, mate. I'm going to lie. Do you know what I mean? Pleasure to meet you at the pub after the game today, James. No worries, mate. I see Steve. I will say this, and he was probably with Steve, but I met someone today. I'm sitting having a drink, and someone comes up to me and says, "I follow your channel, E20 Zone." I was like, "Oh my god, I ain't gonna get no criticism." And fair play to Steve, mate. Absolute gentleman. Like, come up to me, shook my hand, and said, "You know what? I enjoy what you lads are doing." Do you know what I mean? He had quite a few words to say about Alfie, like WestHamOnline, but I sort of backed Alfie and said Alfie's a young kid and he'll be fine in time. But yeah, Steve Anderson, absolute gentleman. And fair play for him to come up to me. And anyone can come up to me, man. I'm just, as I say, I'm one of yous. And like, he sort of said to me, what did I think? And I basically said what I'm saying now. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just like an average, basically. But yeah, fair play, man. We need a bulldog in midfield, otherwise we will get overrun. Totally agree. Totally agree. I will say that. Let's get down to the bottom here. How much have Saudis offered for Mickey? I don't know yet, mate. I don't know. Unbeaten in pre-season. Kane. I agree, mate. I must admit, Kane, it was a good game. Bamba looks very good. Where is Skamaka then? If he is available, surely he needs every minute. Yeah, but Skamaka wasn't there today. Bone wasn't there today. Downs wasn't there. Saved them for France, I believe. Snazzy, Azzy, hope you're all good, mate. Have to run. Thanks, James. Good stuff. No worries, Lawrence. You take care of yourself. I went to meet James at the game, but unfortunately, he had too many fans and security around him. Do you know what, Kane? I'll tell you this, yeah, right? When you're sort of in incognito, as I put it, I was there with a few lads, and I could see people that I've seen on Twitter. Yeah, obviously, you had the people that I didn't know, but yeah, it was quite funny. And I even messaged someone. I said, like, get off the fence, like you're standing on the fence. They go, oh, where are you? And obviously, it was funny at the time, but yeah, it's good to see some people. Do you know what I'm saying? We'll say that. But big up, Kane. What we got? James does cameos for all the fans. He charges £100 a cameo. Quite a wish, mate. You know what I mean? Any more news on incomings, James? The bee's knees. No, mate. Is a simple question to that. Do you know what I mean? There's a simple answer to that. Sorry. Something's got to give, mate. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. Something like eventually something's going to have to happen next week. If nothing happens by Wednesday of next week, then I'm fucking shitting myself big time. Like, I'm very, very nervous about the new season. I will say that. I shouldn't be. Yeah, and people like to say about the youngsters, and the youngsters are all well and good. But let's be honest, we need more than just the youngsters. We need a lot of quality in our team to sort of make us progress. So, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but let's get some signings. We've got a journalist in the house, Tier 1. And it's this man, Taylor. Taylor Joe's trying to be clever, putting 2 and 2 together, thinking we're going for Bellis because we're in talks for Borges. Yeah, double scoop at City for us, for their best young players. I will say one thing. I do like the way West Ham are going around their business this year once they do get it done. Like, once it's actually signed, sealed and delivered. But signing younger players, like, it's a good mould for West Ham. I will say that. Do you know what I'm saying? But on the left-hand side, it's going to be interesting because I think Cornet done all right today. Right? It'd be interesting to see how he plays in the next 2 sort of friendlies. And I want to see him play games now, Maxwell Cornet, because we all know what Ben Rama's like. We all know what Fornells is like. I want to see Maxwell Cornet play the next 2 friendlies. And do you know what? It would not surprise me if this kid is pushing for a starting spot with West Ham before too long. Right? I will say that. I thought he was pretty good today, pretty lively, and he was man of the match for me by country mile, especially on the West Ham side. I will say that. Right, as I come to the end, it's going for some young players, just like you said, mate. Looks all right if they come in. I agree, mate. All right. I just want to see some young talent in the edge. You know what I'm saying? It's not West Ham going backwards, it's West Ham building for the future. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? If you've got young talent, you can sort of bring talent in. And listen, Bowen was a young player when he came to West Ham, and look how well he's performed. Ben Rama the same. Who knows what's going to happen? Who actually knows? Right. I'm going to wrap it up there, people. I've done 29 minutes, coming up to the 30-minute mark, and that is me done. Do special like on the video, and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. It was a bit of a surreal moment when someone comes up to me in a pub and starts speaking to me. I will say that and saying like how much they sort of enjoy the channel and everything. Obviously, I am going to get the haters, like people who don't like the shit. You know what I mean? And I've got to take the rough with the smooth. So yeah. But yeah, it was a bit of a surreal moment. So big up to Steve Anderson, as I say. He come up to me today, absolute gentleman, top class, absolute top class. And yeah, he just said, what you're doing is good, keep cracking on. And basically that's what we will do. Do you know what I'm saying? Final few comments. Thanks for the stream, James. No worries, mate. There's a young Dimitri Payet on the market. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And finally, from the journalist, James, you are spot on. The corner has been putting in so much work on his recovery this pre-season. I think he's a dark horse next season and will surprise many. And I'll be honest, I think he could surprise a hell of a lot of people, mate, Maxwell Cornet. We will know more in the coming weeks with him, and we will see what happens. But West Ham might not lead a left winger. Sorry. But if they don't go for a left winger and they want to use Cornet through the middle, he could be a dark horse, mate. Really could. Anyway, from me to you, take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back to try and get all the boys on. We'll have a discussion about West Ham's pre-season, possible signings if we're going to have any, and what the future holds for the Claret and Blue. Anyway, enjoy your Saturday evening. It's pissing down and rain all day in Dagenham. I will say that. But it will never dampen our spirits. Take care. Peace.